We are live. Yep. And thank you all for attending. Yeah, it should be interesting. Continuing the teachings on the Dharma. The process is that in Dharma, we don't expect Jesus Christ, to be teaching Buddhism or Hinduism or other aspects of God, how God reality exists and all that kind of stuff. But yet that's what I do. Yeah. And so the main principle behind my reality is my reincarnation. The fact that I reincarnate. And I have to get that across to you. That you reincarnate. All of you. You're very blessed to be incarnated as a human being. To get to that place, you had to reincarnate. You don't just come out of nowhere. And you don't come out of a nebulous heaven where God just grabs you and manifests you and throws you on earth for one life, and that's it. And however you make it through it, you're going to be judged. That's not how it works. We are here to live life, live out life. And we're not here to live life with Satan or with demonology or all the evil that exists on earth. We're here to be here with Jesus the Christ and have Jesus the Christ teach everyone how to resist Satan, how to resist the vices, how to exist on earth, and to exorcise demons. What is that? Anybody hear that? Yeah, I do. So in the process, when you see Jesus and you see the Bible and, you read all that, you see me healing people and people coming back alive and exorcising people that are possessed by demons and can't stay in focus. The process is that people can't stay in focus. They become distracted by elemental forces, and that's called Satan. So Jesus is here to kind of get you back on track. Listen to who you're listening to, and not things that you may hear or be distracted by. But try and stay focused on the reality of the Christ, which is really hard until Christ comes. If Christ is physically incarnated, then you have Christ right before you. You have the talking process, you have the explanation, you have the internalization, the externalization, the integration, all the things that come with Christ that you don't have unless Christ is incarnated. Christ needs to be incarnated. And that's our process. We're in a world where Christ has incarnated and has reincarnated over and over again. And there's a whole history of Christ that we don't know about. There's a whole history of working out a plan that we don't know about. So when I come to teach Dharma and I say certain words that aren't in direct reflection to Judaism and the Hebrew text, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and whatever way you want to make it up, if I don't come spouting off those exact same descriptions of things, then, I'm judged critically. I'm not expressed truthfully if you try and interpret what it is I am saying. So it requires me to be the one who expresses what's going on, because everything is under the illusion of Satan, which is a lie. And you can't discern or discriminate what's the difference between a lie and the truth. Especially when you're in the lie, when you're in it. When you're born, you have a name, you walk, you talk, you go to school, you're told lies. You go to work, you're told lies. You go to college, you're told lies. And if you're old enough, you realize how much this is lying and how wise you get to not lie, to be aware of the lies. And that you can easily fall into the deception and the circumstances from one marriage after another, one relationship after another, one job circumstance, one job profession, go from lawyer to doctor to whatever, And people do that shit. They do that. And people, they jump on the bandwagon thinking, wow, what an accomplishment this person has. Look at the resume. Look Look how much they've done. Look how much they've accomplished. What service have they given to the world? But if you go through all of it, you'll find out that that's a very minute, small number of people that have that process. And the truth of it is that it's far harder than you can ever imagine. Most people don't have money. When you go to college, you have to get loans, and then you have to pay those loans back. Or get a loan from your parents, unless you're rich. And how many people out there are born rich? Not that many. So that process of our mind and the energy that we're in, the circumstances that we're all in, is not equal. We're not in those circumstances equally. But we're all in those circumstances. I don't care if you're Satan incarnated and the children of Satan, and you're the richest person on earth, and you're the Pope, and you're the king or the queen or whatever you are. Your life is full of shit. It has all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. And you have no God understanding whatsoever, so that's out the door. Totally out the door. You're totally consumed in your profession. And your riches. Whether if you're a king or you're a queen, it's over with. You might as well be in prison. You might as well have chains on your wrists. You have to live a lie the moment you're born. And then you are programmed into thinking it's true, and you're an heir to the throne, and you're this and that, and you're from the bloody land of England, and now you are English, and you are connected to that same satanic force that goes all the way up to the king and the queen, all the way down to the people who believe they're in service to this monarchy or this patriarchal situation. And it's a delusion of grandeur. It's a lie. It's a lie. There's no truth in it at all. And then you look at your riches. Where do they go to? They go to those people. They go to the king and the queen. And then they go to the military under the king and the queen. They go to the Catholics and the religious order that put the king and the queen on the throne. Because they collect their money from all the people who worship the king and the queen. They also worship the crown of delusionary glory of Christ. It has nothing to do with Christ. It has to do with capitalism and the relationships of Satanism and the decree of Satan on earth. And the power Satan has over all of you. Every breath you take, every move you make, every single thing you do is under the impression of Satan's life. Maintaining Satan's life. You pay your taxes. You have to pay your taxes or you go to prison. You go to prison? I mean, it's hell. It's hell if you don't follow along. If you get caught by a cop, if you're black or Mexican, if you're in this day and age, who knows when that ever is going to go away. But right now, it does exist. And no one discerns well enough to know that the previous president was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. His father was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. It's written down in history. He was caught by the police. He went to jail. As a member of the Ku Klux Klan. His son tried to put young men in prison because they were black and accused of raping a woman being white. And he hated them so much. He said, all of you should hate them. All of you should kill them. Give them the death penalty. Don't even put them to court. Immediately, let's hang them. That's what you do in the Ku Klux Klan. That's the kind of words you say. He and his father in the early 70s went into court because they went against all black people. And they owned a lot of the majority of housing throughout New York. But no black people could rent from them. No one. No black person. No Puerto Rican person. No Chinese person. None. And it got so bad by 1970s, and by 1970s we've gone through Kennedy, we've gone through all this, Martin Luther King, we've moved through a whole lot, and we've finally gotten to a place where we got to give rights to people in rental situations. You know, we've got to allow people, despite their prejudice of the fact that we can't allow blacks into our neighborhood. Yeah? Even to the day of Trump becoming president, he told you, we don't want Mexicans here. And black lives do not matter. He said it out loud. He said it all the time. You'd say, oh, black lives matter. Well, white people matter too, he says. Wow, holy shit. This guy is really something else. Yeah? He's something else and I'm something else. I'm Jesus the Christ. I'm here. Jesus the Christ. Why am I here? Why am I here right now? Yeah? There has to be a mission at hand. There has to be a calling. And it's not what you think. Read your Bible. Why does Jesus Christ come back? Because the Antichrist is here. He incarnated 5 years before me. And that forced me to incarnate. Leave my body. Take a new body. Incarnate in the United States. Yeah? And manifest. Have Tibetans come, glorify me, enthrone me. You know, here I am now, the reincarnation of Jesus Christ in America, known to the masters in the world, all throughout the world, by the time I'm 9 years old. But I'm an American Buddha. I'm the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And I'm in America. The President of the United States knew it. Kennedy knew it. Johnson knew it. If you investigate it, you'll find out that there were all kinds. They had the address of my address, my mom and dad's address. They had my name written in a letter stating that this is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. What do we do with him? Their decision was, leave it be. Unless he requests our help, we let him be in charge, no matter what age he is. And whatever he wants to do, he does. And we don't go against it. We don't think we have a better idea. We don't think anything like that. We let it go on. Just the way it's supposed to. Just the way he would do it. And that's what happened. Yeah? But in the process, you know, you got Trump. Yeah? And you got all of Trump's people. You know, all the mega. All the people out there today. The QAnon. The nuts. Yeah? People who are afraid of socialists and democracy. Afraid of it. They want to get rid of it. They think you're a bunch of vampires. They're being told that, and they believe it because they are demonically possessed. They're demonically possessed by the head of the GOP. Yeah? And the GOP is non-existent. It's not an existent reality. It's a state of mind. It's prejudice. It's bias. It's hate. It's anger against whites who don't agree to be against blacks. Just like he says, if you're a Jew and you're not angry, you should be embarrassed for being a Jew. Yeah? Can you believe the way Trump expresses himself at all times? You know, as though he has no one to pay. And when they say, have you ever asked God for forgiveness? And he says, well, no, I've never done anything wrong. So since I've never done anything wrong, why should I ever ask God for forgiveness? You know, that's pretty insane. This man lies 24/7. He rapes children. He does things wrong all the time. He's going into court every single day since he got out of being president because he does wrong all the time. I mean all the time. Not a little bit, but a lot. Who is this guy? Here I am, Jesus the Christ, sitting in front of you. Yeah? But where's the Antichrist? If I'm here, there has to be an Antichrist. And he had to have gotten here before I got here, because that's what brings me here. Your illicit behaviors. Your willingness to follow Ponzi schemes. Yeah? Your willingness to buy real estate and think that that's going to win you the greatest lottery in the world and just ruin everybody else's life by raising up the real estate and making yourself rich and everybody else poor. You got caught in that. That was Satanism. That was Satanism. You got a first mortgage, a second mortgage, a third mortgage. You sold your souls. By the time I got here, it was all gone. Yeah, everything. You had, from Alexander Graham Bell to the people who did the oil, to the people who did electricity, to the people who did all the greed and the commerce of industry, the railroads and everything. It was a monopoly at all times. It was always a monopoly. It was never democracy. Democracy is not a monopoly. Yeah? Capitalism is a monopoly. Yeah? Yeah? Democracy is not capitalism. It's not. And it's not what you're afraid of is socialism. It's not what you're afraid of is communism. It's having Jesus Christ in the world. Yeah? Because the presidents have a job. Well, Jesus Christ has a job. Yeah? He's the head of the world. Yeah? I'm the head of all the governments. I'm the head of all things. Anything and everything. And I do it telepathically, so you can't run. You can't hide. Yeah? I don't carry a big stick. I just don't go away. And now that I'm here forever. Because that's the second coming. Maybe you didn't read that part in the Bible. Yeah? Where I send everybody up. Everybody goes ascending up into my heaven. Yeah? And people start dying like flies. They just live their life and they die. And the rest begin ascending. And they reincarnate. And they come back as the new group of world servers. Yeah? As humanity, not inhumanity. Driven by Satan. Yeah? Driven by Trump. Or another Trump. Imagine, what if another Trump comes? We've had Hitler, we've had Mussolini, we have the Pope. Look at the history of the Pope. It's downright fucking unimaginable. Completely unimaginable. The amount of evil, the amount of terrorists, the amount of pain and suffering and torture they did on humanity. All in the name of the Pope. Not in Christianity, not Catholic, but Pope. Pope. It was a personal, subjective situation. A cult leader who hated humanity so much, driven by Satan, that by now, today, they are all in league with Lucifer, and they pledge allegiance to Lucifer. And it's in their prayer. It's in their invocation. It's who they are. They've been doing it for so long. They've terrorized humanity so much. Their karma is so bad. They rape little kids and never, ever, ever get busted for it. Never. They say, well, we'll take care of it. Trust us. Oh, okay, thanks. That's what you do. Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think the Antichrist came? Yeah? Because you bought into the Antichrist one after another, after another, after another. You took all 5 of them at the same time. You had Mussolini, Hitler, Hirohito, you had Chinese, you had the Italian. You had them, all 5 major demonic entities manifested as the Antichrist. 5 mass manifestations of the Antichrist all at the same time because humanity made it happen. They would serve them. All these people served Hitler. All these people served Mussolini. All these people served the Pope and were homosexuals. Yeah? Covering up homosexuality in the Catholic Church. Covering it up. Knowing it's happening without question. History, 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 people. It's all about history. Yeah? And we miss all the history. We miss it. But I'm making darn sure you're never going to miss it again. Ever. Yeah? I am going to unveil Everything. You're going to see what's in the Catholic Church and what they have done and who the Pope really is. You're going to find out all of his crew. His crew. These are not priests. These are people in a gang. They're gang members. Yeah? They're a horde. Just like other mean people, you know, when you're in just like Trump, he has a horde of evil people around him. He has an evil bookkeeper. He has an evil lawyer. He has other evil lawyers who stand up for him and say, they're cracking, you know. As though that's real. And she's not, now she's not a lawyer anymore because she's been found to be crazy. Crazy, mad, insane, possessed. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, we're even finding out that this crackerjack process was so bad and you were so lacking discernment. If it wasn't for me, none of this would be happening. You'd still have Trump. Yeah. And 70% of you would be jumping up and down, yay Trump, even though everybody's dying all around you. Children are not being fed. You're losing all of your tax. You're losing 55% of your tax-earned, hard-earned money went to the military during the time of Trump. 55% of all the money of America went to the military. Why? Were we in a bunch of wars? Something I didn't see. I didn't notice. Are we all kind of like blind to the fact that we're not in 5 or 6 or 7 wars? I mean, we have to be in order to put 55% of all of our income into the military and not share with anybody where that money went. Yeah. Then he says, and I threw in the space program. What? You created a new military in space? That's got to be gazillion. Yeah, it was 55% of your money. Thank you. Yeah, I'm evil. This cat is evil. There's no question about it. This cat is evil. This is where he sits in his reality. This is him. He's the son of Satan. Yeah? Satan's manifestation for earth. He's not a king. He is a want-to-be king. He's a wannabe king. Yeah? Just like Hitler, just like Mussolini, just like all the rest of them, wannabe kings. Yeah? He hasn't seduced you far enough to get you to attain him the second seat as president and then maintain him as a tyrannical dictator of America till the day he dies. That was his plan. That's what's in this guy. Yeah? That demon you see in his ear, that's real. Yeah? All these demons you see around him, they're there, and they're all channeling. Yeah? They're all putting the noose around the vice president if he doesn't do what the Satan says. He's a very evil man. He's an extremely evil man. He is the Antichrist. And I got it down. I got rid of all the rest of them. There are more out there. And I'm not done at all. But this is the dude. This is the dude. His plan. You will find out. You will find out that there were 6 states that he wrote up fake people that would take on the position of being the electoral voters for states that he lost at. Yeah? Michigan, Phoenix, Wisconsin, these states that he lost at. Well, his little goblin, his lawyer, got together with every single one of those states and got people who were Republicans out of those states and got them to sign and forge certificates that they were the actual honorary people who count these ballots. They're the ones. And the other one is to be thrown out. The actual, truly legal, honorary delegates were to be kicked out, and the fakes with fake licenses and fake certification, all that was done. It's all was done. It's not like, oh, we happened to see this in an email that they were planning it. No. All the letters and everything were applied and certified. The only thing that didn't happen, that they didn't get it to Pence. And Pence knew that these letters were coming. He was just waiting for them to come to him, but he wasn't going to sign them, no matter what, whether they were there or not. But it was a plot to get, and that's why he was afraid at the very last moment. If you talk to Pence, you'll find out that man was scared shitless. He thought he was going to be assassinated. I mean, it wasn't just they're going to hang him and everything. He knew Trump had a plot. The only one who was aware of it and would have said anything was him. So he knew he had to be killed before he got back up there and did that. So they took him down into the basement. Him, his wife, and his kids went down into the basement. And security's standing around him, and the guy who's going to drive the car, who he doesn't know that well. And the security's saying, get in the car, let's go, we're taking you away from here. And he goes, you're not taking me anywhere. I'm alive right now. I'm going to stay that way. I'm in charge. Yeah? If I'm going anywhere, I'm asking to go there. You're not telling me to go anywhere. I'm safe right here. I'm not moving. I'll wait here all night if I have to go back up there and do this. But I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm not going to do it. Yeah? Because you're going to shoot me. That's what's in his mind. The plot thickens. It goes further, into a process. So, and none of this get to happen. He does not get, anybody comes at him. He does not have to deal with those letters, but those letters were captured. We got the letters, yeah? And we have subpoenas on the people for every single person who forged their name on the letters go to prison. They go to prison. But guess what? What about the person who asked them to forge these letters in order to turn over the entire votes of the United States to illegally allow a person to become president when they're not president? Literally, a coup. Yeah? And they were working hard and fast, many different directions, like literally military coup, this kind of coup, many. And we all heard it. Are you kidding me? That general's in there saying, do a coup? The general in charge is saying, do a coup. They're doing it in this country over here right now. It's a sign. We should do the same thing. Look, they're winning. The coup won. They ousted the president. They put in the military. It works. Why don't we do it? Yeah? It was just all Satan tempting them, showing them, yeah, Satan does exist. It's happening in many areas of the world, and we can do it here too. But they're not. Jesus Christ is here and in charge of this thing with all the disciples of humanity that are here for the reappearance of Christ. These are the saints who died for Christ, are here right now. They're not going to be going along with this guy. They're going to be in the Supreme Court busting this guy. Yeah? They're going to be the head of politics and the head of attorney relationships, where they're in position where they can put truth on top of lies and verify it, because they carry so much light, so much integrity, so much truth, so much ability to pull it all together and capture the demon and slay the demon. Yeah, just like in the Bible, it says we put freaking chains on this guy and throw him in hell. Witness it, people. Witness it. You will witness it. You will witness it. Yeah. He will have chains put on his legs. He will have chains put on his hands. He will go to prison. He will never come out. He will die in there. How many of his family will go with him? Can't say. But it should be every single one of them. Not every single one. But at least his 2 elder boys and his daughter. They should definitely be spending time in prison, paying off their debt to society. And we have to go deep into the 666 building and find out exactly what does Arabia have to do and a negotiation with Israel have to do and the process of 666 and our government. How is it all this happened during the time that Trump becomes president? He then grabs Kushner and puts him and his daughter in high position so that they can be able to talk to Arabian officials and jeopardize a war, which they did. They separated Arabian countries and created a war between the 2 countries, and not telling anything to the American political process whatsoever. It's all done in private by them in negotiations with the other countries. And if they did this, and they did do it, by doing an embargo, which they did do, they gave millions and millions and billions of extra monies to the Arabians through this embargo. And that gave them a deal of, okay, now give us $1 billion so we can get out of debt with 666. And they did. They bought portions of the lease of 666 and took them out of debt. And it was all done by the same people who they initiated the war with. Yeah, and this is all done without any of you knowing what the shit is going on. Yeah? I mean, nuclear agreements, you have no idea what all is going on. And it's all being stopped. It will never come into play. All the things that were going to go into play won't go into play. But what you will get is an unfolding of what was planned. Just like this process of January 6th. Not just what was planned, but what was initiated. How really evil was this? How well planned was it orchestrated? Yeah, all the way to even today, it's still being orchestrated, so that we will not trust the existing president. Giving 60% of America to think that the president who is the president of the United States is not the actual president of the United States. And you're angry for it. And you're out buying gas and you're going to work and you're pissed off and you're not going to wear masks and doing all this stuff. You're angry. You're angry because you're lied to. You've been deceived to become angry. Told a lie so that you will be angry. You should be angry if someone stole your vote. If someone stole your vote and put someone who's not the president in the office of the president, who's really a bad person. And they did it because they're a bad person. But in all truth, it's happening on their side. The ones who are screaming, the ones who are crazy. Yeah. So all of that influence is what's dragging us with this guy. Yeah. It's the influence of the Antichrist. It's not a little thing. It's a very, 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 very big thing. Yeah. And it's the entire history of humanity. It goes on for millions of years. And we are taking it to a point of transition. Yeah? Transfiguration. A war between heaven and evil. Yeah? If you study Shambhala, Shambhala is based on a war between corruption and evildoers. People of satanic lifestyle, evil, greed, corruption, taking over the earth and destroying the earth, yeah, wiping it up and then judging you for it, claiming as though you're the ones doing it, and you're not the ones doing it, but you're going to pay for it, yeah, and they're not going to take any credit for it, just like Trump. Yeah? And all of that influence is what's hitting us. We have no idea how long this is hitting us and what way it's hitting us. And we go back in the Bible and we go, oh my God, look what Noah and, the flood and everybody dies. Could that be real? Does God get that pissed off? Over Cain? Over evil? Over Babylon? Over corruption? Over lying? Over deception? Over stealing? Over raping? Yeah, he does. He gets very upset. Yeah. And the earth, all that impurity goes into the earth, and it goes back into humanity. And God's not doing anything to make that change. It's build-up. It's build-up, just like what happened with Moses or with the process of Noah. It was a build-up. Up to that point, it was a build-up, and that had gone on for thousands of years. That build-up, that corruption, everything, you can't imagine, but it's still happening today. The same evil, sodomy, all of it, it's still happening today, and over and over and over and over again, humanity has been wiped away. And we got people like Elon Musk and just say, we got to prepare to go to Mars. No, we don't. We got to be better people. We have to be better people because we have evil amongst us. And we have to discern, discriminate. We need to learn to pray. We need to learn to meditate. But first of all, you need to get rid of these satanic warlords. And that's why I came. Because it's not something humanity can do. The process of humanity is inside the spiral of initiations. And the Dark Lodge catches you when you're starting to develop certain levels of psychic ability. And it gives you delusions of grandeur because they channel into you lies and illusions and delusions. And it corrupts your soul. It corrupts your ideals. It corrupts how it is you're attracted to someone, why it is you're attracted to someone. You can just start having a little conversation. If it lends a little in one energy or another, you become possessed. And you can't stop it. All of a sudden you're controlled by the elements inside you. And if things get so bad, rape happens. Molestation happens. Perversion happens. These are elements inside of us, and they're down here in our lower sacral center, where our chakras are off. And it's perverted because things are going on that are perverted. And it's not us. It's Satan. He is perverted. He's perverted. He is perverted. He is molesting babies, children, women, you. He is evil. He is the history of all of our evil. All of it. Every tax you've ever paid. Every time you've ever gone to war. Every person you've ever lost. Imagine, even in the process of this virus, we lost over 1 million people because of this guy. He wouldn't stand up for anybody. I'm not going to wear the mask. I don't believe in this. It's all a hoax. What? Man, shit, don't start off like that. His whole process is to channel into you, channel into all of humanity. So, here I am. And that process is to change everything dramatically. Because we've got the initiations that are in process of externalization, and the Antichrist, the process of dark forces, all of that knows nothing of this. Absolutely nothing of it. Everything is, God is a machine. Everything is, it's just the way it is, and either you got good luck or you got this and that, fame, fortune, money, genes, all kinds of reasoning behind things. Yeah? But the truth is that it comes in telepathically, intuitively, in order for us to discern, discriminate. Yeah? You can't necessarily, even though that's what's standing before you, you can't really see it. Can't really see it. Even though he behaves the way he does, even though he does the things he does, yeah, he's still elected. Yeah, and he doesn't go to court. And those are a lot of children. Those are a lot of children. Little boys, little girls, all raped and molested by this guy. Yeah. Every single process that we have going on is coming down to this one guy. This one guy. So what you're going to witness is his unraveling, his undoing, his judgment. The judgment of Satan. And it's not going to be where he takes a gun and shoots himself in the head and that's over with. It's not going to happen that way. He's got too much pride. He'll fight this thing tooth and nail. Even if he's in prison, he'll deny he's in prison. He'll deny it. He'll say, I'm coming out in any day. I've been on the phone with da-da-da-da. They're coming to get me right now. This is all a hoax. He will. He will. He will. Yeah? And we'll all sit back and listen and watch. And we'll watch the building 666, which was bought for $1.5 billion. And today it's worth $830 million. 830. How do you get a loan on something that you owe $1.5 billion and you can't pay it off because it's not worth $1.5 billion? It's not worth it. Yeah? No matter how many people you put in there and keep it going, rolling, money coming in, because that's what it's about. That's where its worth comes from. How many people are going to rent the building? How much value is it in floor space? All that kind of stuff. Well, when you have nobody renting it and nobody's in there and you just have a big bill, $1.5 billion. Yeah. And we're in the middle of it. Getting the Antichrist to become president was the number one plan for him to pay that off. And you got conned by really evil people. Yeah, really evil people who conned you in the past. Yeah. 5 major dictators were alive during this guy's last life. Well, they all come back. So who is this Kushner guy, Who is this Kushner guy? Yeah. Well, he's not a Christian, that's for sure. Not a Christian. Not a Christian. Well, fine, dandy, he's Jewish, but there's a lot of good Jews out there, so we're not going to say anything about that. But Kushner, Kushner. Kind of reminds me of another name, Herod Kushner? Jared, not Herod. Or could it be Herod? Yeah. The process of reincarnation and who you have in your life today is beyond your wildest imagination. These creepy creatures that are standing there as in the Republican Party, and Gollum with his look, and the whole bit, and you just look at the guy and you just go, holy crap. And he's got this nice looking wife and she seems all kind of really nice. How could that be? How could that be? Yeah? Other than an evil design. An evil design. I'll feed you, you feed me. We're here for this purpose and this person alone. You're going to be this person. And you're not going to be this person unless we, as an evil group, put you in these positions. So we've got an enormous number of people around this cat right here, and you can see him in the picture. See the guy down at the bottom over at the left? Little Gollum. Yeah. Charge of the GOP. Yeah. And you got the other little people behind him, little Satan, his daddy kissing him in the face. Yeah. These are all realities of our reincarnation. Yeah. all the way back to Jesus, all the way back to Rome. And imagine, Rome, of all things, Rome, you got Jesus Christ, you got the Pope out of Rome, and that's where they hung him. Those are the ones who killed Jesus Christ. And yet you're going, yeah, I'll follow that. I mean, 2,000 years and you haven't figured it out? They've raped you, they've beaten you, they tortured you, they lied to you. They tell you that you have to eat the flesh of Jesus to be saved and drink his blood and pray to Lucifer. And yet, okay, that's what you do. Okay. Yeah? Well, that's, trust me, that has to stop before it ends. It has to stop before it ends. It's not a slow process. You must wake up. Yeah? So in order to do that, history has to unfold right before your eyes. Because evil is in the making. And if it stopped and then unfolded, rather than making itself into manifestation, but actually revealing itself from not being manifested. This is what didn't happen. And this didn't happen. Well, by the end of this thing, by the time we get to the year 2024 and they're thinking about electing another president, do you really think there's going to be a Republican anywhere? Anywhere? Not really. And after they've all been voted out, because they've all been found to be a part of QAnon, they brought Antichrist in. They supported the Antichrist. They were the fellowship of the Antichrist. And all the fake Christians who stole all your money, all your houses, all your inheritance, yeah? All the money you ever had in your life, you gave to these churches and made these people rich. Because they tell you that you give us 10%, and that's the way it's written right here, and you have to do that sort of thing. Because we're your representatives, and you're evil, and we're not. Yeah, because we speak about Jesus Christ with a book in our hand, and therefore, we are that. Yeah, the character has arisen, yeah, and you believe it because you're all in a play. It's delusions and illusions. It's trickery. Yeah, it's music and flashing lights and statues that make you think you see something. Oh, is that an angel? Is that a real angel up there? Oh my God, my heart's beating. I feel like I'm in heaven. It's insane, people. It's insane. You need to just freaking close your eyes and relax and deal with your sins. Yeah? And let them go. Because you're not a sinner. Jesus Christ lives. Jesus Christ lives. Jesus Christ died for you. Jesus Christ resurrected for you. No other being on earth has done that. And in that process, he saves you if you believe in Jesus Christ. You have to believe in Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ resurrected and died on a cross to save your ass. That was a lot to go through. It was terrible. Yeah? This can't go on. I'm here for a reason. Yeah? I'm not here to go on another cross. I'm not here to be a martyr. Yeah? I fulfilled what was necessary for your sins to be relinquished, to be purified. Because I'm not from this earth. I'm not from the sinning reality of Satan. I was reborn out of that. I resurrected out of it. I died in the world where Satan was talking to everybody. And I came back resurrected. Never had another conversation with Satan again. But I could witness Satan. I could see Satan. Yeah? And I could raise everybody up out of that process. And you have to come to Jesus Christ. You have to. Not to the Pope. He is not Jesus Christ. Not to a priest. He is not Jesus Christ. Not to a Muslim. He's not Jesus Christ. It has to be Jesus the Christ. Because you are dealing with the Antichrist. You really, truly are. And I'm going to unfold it for you. You're going to witness it, and you're going to be super happy for the whole thing. But this unfolding is to give you a revelation so you can speak the truth about history. That Christ came and saved us all. And you witness it, right in the very beginning. You witness it. Yeah? He judged the Antichrist. He placed him in chains. He got rid of him. The world got better. And saints began incarnating. And wonderful things began happening because of the Christ. Because Christ is here. And he never leaves us. He teaches us about reincarnation. And he reincarnates. Yeah? Your history does not include that. So you're in another world. That's what I'm fighting for. Yeah? Not my world, but your world. Your rights, your freedom, your human dignity. Yeah? All these things are taken away. Because you have amongst you the Antichrist. You should not be in a position in your being to where you attract the Antichrist. You should not. You have to be perverted. You have to be diseased. You have to be permeating very bad, evil smells and odors out of your being and attract flies to attract the Antichrist. That's how it happens. Yeah? It doesn't happen because evil's evil and it just is. No, you have to build it. You have to further it. You have to propagate it. You have to weaken your soul. You have to weaken your character. You have to have mothers and fathers that sold themselves. You have to have grandfathers that went to war over and over and over again. And you have nothing to go by. All you have, hey, I still have another camera. Yeah. So it's about redemption. Yeah? And the cycle of redemption. And you're in a process where we are getting rid of this guy. This guy. And you couldn't see it that way. And right now he's sitting in a chair crying all the time. And he's pissed. He's so angry it's beyond words. He paints himself gold and, orange, so he can look like Apollo. Because he believes he's Apollo. If you go to his apartment, the ceiling is paintings of Apollo. Over his fireplace is a painting of Apollo. Yeah? A statue on his major table in the living room is a statue of Apollo. He believes he is the incarnation of Apollo. Apollo is the son of Satan. Apocalypse. Apollo. He's the son of Satan. The influence behind Zeus, the influence behind demigods and other fallen angels that take these names as though they're gods. So he sees himself as the god Apollo. And Apollo's thought to be the most handsome, golden hair, handsome in every way, which would be Lucifer. Apollo is the son of the morning light. Yeah? And he sees himself that way. He go to his apartment. That's all you'll see is him as Apollo in paintings, glorifying himself as the incarnation god Apollo. Well, Apollo dies. Apollo is mortal. Apollo is a human being living an inhumane life. And Apollo is going to find judgment and that God does exist. And Apollo is not a god. Yeah? And that's really the roughest thing you'll ever go through. If you ever read or study the Chinrezi Puja, if you get to a place where you believe that you're a god and you start presenting that kind of reality out there, a demigod or a god or any other major force like that, when you reincarnate, it is the toughest and hardest life of suffering that you'll ever go through. Yeah? Because there is no such distinction to your existence. The God reality that we believe to be God is our human belief of having control over matter, having control over things, people, places, and things. There's no such existence. God is love. Yeah? God is understanding. God is compassion and empathy. That's an existence. Has no hate to it. It has no impurity defiling another person, making a person less than who they are. You know? Bringing them lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, which is what Satan does. Satan whittles people down by having a left spin to their origin, the way that they lived. In the tree of life, Christ is the right spin, movement. The elements, moves elements upward. Creates light, creates electricity, creates the etheric field. Yeah? Creates higher levels of telepathy. Creates super consciousness. Creates superhuman beings. Yeah? And that's not God's. Those are people who built pyramids that we can't explain right now, because that was 50 to 100 and 300,000 years ago. You all died and got dumb and forgot everything and, were taken over by all this. And now you look back and you go, how is that possible? Must have been extraterrestrials. You can't see it in a different way. See yourself, because there's such a big difference between your psychic characteristics, who builds the pyramids and all the other temples that we have on earth, your psychic characteristics, let alone your human skills, to build a temple, to manifest it in great order, largeness, height, working, functional temple, beautiful temple, but one the size of LA, that's a lot. That would take 100 years, maybe 100 lives of people to fulfill that. What kind of commitment? And they all go, oh, that was due to slavery. But it was never due to slavery. It was due to psychic capability. Psychic capabilities on top of skills. On top of intellect. On top. To where those things, those psychic abilities, kinetic abilities, telekinetic abilities, levitation abilities, vibrational abilities to mold stone into a soft, moldable structure rather than a hard stone that you have to break up and cut and all that. But we look at these stones and we can see that they were actually molded. How's that possible? It's done by sound and telepathy. And that's you. We have these abilities, but we're so far from it because we have the wrong people on earth. They don't belong here, people. You allow him to be here. And you loved Michael Jackson. Well, I don't care if you loved him. He left and he's not coming back. He is gone. You might have liked Sai Baba. Well, sorry, but he's gone. You might have liked a whole lot of people that you think were charismatic and just super justifiable for the evil life. Like in Queen, the rock band Queen, the head guy in that, all of his incredible gay activity and dying the way he did, with hundreds of thousands of other people in the exact same boat that he was driving them into, and all died of AIDS. All became more homosexual. All ruled by these lower chakras that come from music and ceremony and disorder. Creating and invoking in people things that are not said, but things that are done. You're singing with him, but you can't see his horns and his penis in the butt of another man. You can't see it. But you're singing with him, and that's what you're experiencing. And that's the truth. Are you willing to accept that truth? You take a homosexual into your aura. Are you willing to accept that truth? Because now that's you too. Whatever vile thing, including talking to little boys and having them bring their penis out and have sexual contact at a very early age. They're not going to tell you they're doing that, but they're doing it. Everywhere they're doing it. And you can't discern or discriminate. And those who are doing it to you, if you know them. Does that make sense? And it's happening inside of you. And you're confused. Because while they're having homosexual, terrible sex, you're trying to go to sleep. You're trying to have dinner. Because we're all living in the same world at the same time. And the same thing that's happening in those vile, evil circumstances is happening to you while you're trying to eat dinner. While you're trying to sleep. Your son was molested by the coach. And you're eating dinner. And you're not having a conversation with your son anymore. And you can't feel it. You don't know it. Your son can't talk about it. Yeah. But it's going inside of you. And then you watch TV and you go, oh, that kind of drag thing, that's not so bad. Oh, that kind of dressing up the guy to a girl, that's not so bad. I'm kind of into it. Yeah. How do you think that happens? We're psychic people. The evil people do. The evil you do enters other people. If you do it, it's what you do that curses us. Does that make sense? Yeah? So you got to be aware, Pick your friends well. Never pick a homosexual as a friend. Ever. Never pick someone who said, I have stolen and I got away with it. Get rid of that person immediately. Get that person out of your phone book. Get that person out of your life. Consider moving. That's how drastic this is. Because it will be you. And you won't know why. You won't know why your characteristics have changed. You won't know why the flies are now attracted to you. You have more evil coming at you than you could shake a stick at. In your government, in your city, in your community, crazy ass things happen. People get killed in schools. And you don't know why. Yeah. It's because of the perversion. It's the perversion. It's not okay because it's behind doors. There is no such thing as freedom to express perversion. No such thing. Because we're all affected by it. Yeah? We're all affected by it. So we have to do everything to clear ourselves, meditate, be in a pure space, have the temple and everything that I put out. But be aware of what I'm saying. Know your neighbor. Know yourself. Don't be heavy-duty judgmental, but don't be ignorant. Don't just wish it away. Don't be a friend to a Catholic priest. Not one. I don't care if they gave up smoking. They're wrong. They're in a cult. And if they're not having those homosexual processes, it's passing through them. Because their brothers are. And their sisters are. And the senior priests are. And they're not doing anything about it. And it's going through their blood. It's going through their system. Yeah. So it doesn't matter, the process of how you think this is going to work out. Yeah. It's going to work out through a war. And an exorcism on a big level. Through my discernment. My discrimination. And my constant vigil. I am 24/7. You have no idea, what it's, how consistent I am. I spend a little time, I rest, relax, but I'm still in the middle of it. I'm still in the process of it. I still have to bust Trump. I still have to get the court to do what they're doing. I have to get every single action because it's about goodwill in action. That's me. That's me. And I'm impressing that into the world by me being alive and interacting with the moment. Just the moment. Being in the moment. Yeah? My moment is the reality that the Antichrist is walking around, and it makes me very uncomfortable, and it should make you more uncomfortable. And it made you uncomfortable enough to where we got it to where he's not president, but not uncomfortable enough to where you're not fully believing in the reality that he's a madman. That he's not only evil, but he's insane. Yeah? He's mentally deranged. And he's taking people with him. Taking people and pushing them off a cliff with him. And he's not going to go off the cliff. He's just going to push them off. Yeah. And take no blame for any of it. Yeah. And this is going to happen. This whole process is in the works. It is the will of God to overthrow the process that comes from Satan. And that process for Satan to actually be in a state of incarnation. And that's in the state of ending. Yeah. So it's a matter of capturing the lunar lords, dispelling their abilities to hold you in their glamours, yeah, and have them be released from their incarnation in that life, whether it be Bhagwan or Sai Baba or any of them. I'm on their ass. You may not have known it, you know, but I was there when I was 30. I was there when I was 20. I was there when I was 15. I've been there. I've been on this planet following demons since my birth. Yeah. And I have tackled most of them, and I am on the big dog right now. And that sucker is going down, and I want you to watch. I want you to be very clear as to how many times he's going to be busted for lying, for deceiving, for corrupting other people and causing them to do evil for him. Yeah? And that all gets put together because everybody, the Kraken lady, everybody, the guy who sells pillows, they all need to be exorcised. They're possessed. In a state of insanity, no real insane asylum would take them because they're too crazy. You wouldn't put them in an insane asylum because they drive everybody nuts. You'd have to put them in another place that includes it as a prison that locks them up because they're crazy and dangerous. You don't put crazy, dangerous people in the same place with just crazy people. You don't do it. So we got to make a new house, and that's called hell. Yeah? And you have no idea reincarnation exists. And I'm going to bring that into your life forever. And you're going to be so happy that demons do not reincarnate and fallen angels do not reincarnate. And there are no signs of them coming back. None. All right? So let's pray. Alrighty. Okay, just repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, take a deep breath.
Within the heart of God, let
love stream forth into the hearts of mankind. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men and women, a purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, we call the race of mankind. Let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. I call upon the one most high God. To let the disciple know the nature of his Lord of love. Seven, the aspects of love of God. Seven, the colors of the manifesting one. Sevenfold, the work. Seven, the energies. And sevenfold, the path back to the center of peace. Let the disciple live in love, and love in life. The soul is the Son of God, the product of the union of spirit and matter. The soul is an embodiment of consciousness of mind, the expression of divine intelligent awareness. The soul is a unity of energy, vibrating in unison with one of the seven ray lives, and colored by a particular ray of light. Embodiment of love, applied intelligently, producing an attractive form which will serve to express that loving intelligence. The soul is intended to be the embodiment of divine purpose, applied in great active creativity, which produces the power of creative love. of the desire of life for form. Express the love, the magnetic attractiveness of God's nature, and the responsiveness of form nature, and the I am consciousness itself of the awareness of deity in life. Okay, just relax. Okay, you can open your eyes, and I do mean open your eyes. You know, there's a lot coming down, you know, and it's only happening because I'm here. It's not happening because things are changing, because you have to listen to everything they're saying. They're saying this is happening faster than it's ever happened before. Laws have never been moved this fast. Courts have never been moved that quick to make these kind of decisions. We've never done anything like that. Over and over and over is what they're saying. And they're saying it more because I'm putting the screws in. I'm tightening them. I'm pushing. I'm getting people to realize we must do this, and we must do this with real understanding that we are closing the door on maximum levels of evil, and that he's been caught, and that this will make a difference in the history of our whole humanity, and it'll make it possible for once that door's closed, everybody's eyes will be available for Christ. Rather than seeing all the work of Satan, they'll see the work of Christ. And I'm busy. I'm doing a lot of good work, you know. I'm keeping you out of war. I'm keeping you in peace. I'm healing your planet. I'm giving you new technologies, advanced levels of understanding, things you never would have gotten, and they're moving faster than ever. And I'm getting laws to change. Even though they're passing laws to keep people from getting votes, I'm going to pass them faster to give people votes. You know? None of this is going to hold tight. Evil is over with. Corruption is done. You must witness it. It's your good work. It's your ability to have the revelation, to reveal it, and become Christians. Be thankful for the incarnation of Christ, and help other people know that I'm incarnated, and I'm busy, yeah, and I'm fixing this thing. So let's help people understand that. Okay? Enjoy. Have a good night's sleep.